There are, of course, those networks from within the Middle East that are doing a lot of propaganda for the radical Islamists. Al Jazeera is one of them. In addition to that, you have many outlets in the West in which are completely biased because the reporters that work in these networks, especially those that cover the Middle East, and they do the coverage in Arabic, are also part of this network. For example, it is pretty known that the BBC in Arabic, you have many people affiliated with the Muslim Brotherhood that are working there.
That's Reuven Azar, the ambassador of Israel to India. Here you could hear him say how there are certain propagandists in the Middle East and West who are doing biased reporting to further their narrative of supporting the radical Islamist. Examples of Al Jazeera and BBC gets highlighted, who themselves, along with their journalists, without doing any investigation, are publishing stories supporting Islamist extremism. Well, we at the pamphlet have often covered stories where mainstream media, especially the one in the West, works to amplify the terrorist narrative and enhance their victimhood. For instance, BBC posted a latest documentary about children living in Gaza where coincidentally, or not so coincidentally, we can't say, but BBC gave coverage to a Hamas official's relative as a narrator. Although after facing a huge backlash, BBC put up an apology and also later pulled down their documentary. But are we to believe that one of the most prominent public broadcasters did not carry out background checks before the documentary was put on air? But nevertheless, this can't be a mere coincidence, because as the Israeli ambassador highlighted, the Western media along with their journalists has been doing this since ages to further their biased propaganda. Another example of which is BBC journalist Geeta Pandey, whom again we covered at our channel, exposing how she tried to mock the largest religious Hindu gathering of Mahakumbh. Well, now moving on, you should hear how Reuven Azar made some serious revelations, highlighting concerns over Hamas leaders holding meetings in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir.
Only a couple of weeks ago, in the areas that are under Pakistani control in Kashmir, of leaders of Hamas, tells you something about A, how these terrorist organizations are inspiring each other, and B, that apparently they are cooperating in order to achieve their common goal, which is to terrorize us and to terrorize you. So
you see how this is a matter of grave concern, not only for Israel due to its ongoing war with terror organizations like Hamas, but also for India. Because having Pakistan as a neighboring country which is giving shelter and organizing meetings with Hamas terror outfit, India together with Israel needs to be more cautious. I would like to highlight here how Hamas has been brutally acting against humanity, starting off with their attack of October 7, 2023 on Israel. We have seen how brutally they massacred children and women, beheaded innocent babies, and taken several of the Israelis under captivity. Still, these same people are getting patronage in Pakistan. These clippings on the screen confirms that Pakistan did host a multilateral event of terror groups like Jaish-e-Mohammed, Lashkar-e-Taiba, Hizbul Mujahideen with Hamas in the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir region. As I mentioned above, this is a cause of concern for India, as this same propaganda is being furthered by leftists in our country, where education institutions like Jamia Millia Islamia and JNU have become the centers of radicalization. It is something that we at the pamphlet also covered in one of our previous videos. And I feel a joint action towards these radical elements is the need of the hour, about which Reuven Azar also highlighted in one of his statements, giving credit to the newly formed Trump administration for promising to back Israel in whatever decisions they will make to defend themselves.
We've heard very clearly from President Trump himself that he is going to back Israel in whatever decisions Israel has to make in order to defend itself. And that's very encouraging.
Hamas operatives cozying up with the terrorists nurtured by our neighbors is indeed a cause of concern. It shows that the brutes have joined hands with the barbarians who have no mercy for the infidels they consider enemies. Indian mainstream media needs to wake up and smell the coffee and not follow the footsteps of their Western counterparts, as those who forget history are condemned to repeat it.